Okay, welcome back to the shop. Papa Quartz Zip Tie Garage. Today, sorry I haven't posted for a while. I've been crazy busy, but today we're working on a, I think 2013 Chevy Cruze, and we're doing a water pump. I did a timing belt on this one last year. We're doing a water pump. This is the 1.8. This is not the 1.4. The 1.4 has the turbo. This is just normally aspirated, fuel injected. So, and if you're buying one of these, which I suggest you don't buy one, but if you do buy one of these, the 1.8 is far better than the 1.4. The 1.4's got all kinds of troubles. Not that this motor doesn't have its own share of troubles, but when you get into the turbo stuff, that's kind of a mess. There's all kinds of things that mess up the turbo. Oil lines clog up and ruin the turbos, and you got to replace those and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, so that's what we're doing on this today. I've already raised up, took the wheel off, loosened up all of the flaps there. I got to, so I can get under and drain the radiator. And so we're going to do that, and then the rest is pretty simple, straightforward. But anyway, so we'll get to that and be right back. All right, try to show you what we got here. So if you can see up in there, right there, you can hopefully see the drain plug basically for the radiator, and you can get a hose on it, this right here, and this is my contraption because my hose is not long enough. And then you got to have some kind of container, get your stuff in. We'll see how this works, see what kind of mess I can make. All right, I don't know how. Might need a pair of pliers, probably. Yep. And you can undo this too if you want, and actually I think I will, just so it makes it easier and I can show you a little better. So hang on a second. Okay, there we go. All right, so I got my hose on here. This is your drain valve. Be careful with that. Mine was a little stuck because it's been on there a while. So I had to use a pair of pliers, but be careful because it's all plastic and you don't want to break it, because if you break it, then, you know, you got problems. So yeah, so here's my hose. Drain down my bucket, so we'll let that drain a bit. Well, that's not good. What changed there? Splashing. Anyway, so we'll let that drain a bit, and then we'll go up top. Okay, while that's draining, I'm going to show you. So this is our water pump, and you can see this seepage, drippage right here. So that's where she's losing her antifreeze. So that's what we got to take off. This from underneath. We can get it from up top, but we have to jack it up, loosen some motor mounts, just so we can get in there and get the pulley off and have a little more room to work. So anyway, so I thought I'd show you that while we're still draining our antifreeze out. But anyway, so as soon as that's done, we'll lower the car and start up top. Okay, another thing I tell you, so you're going to need a T20 basically Torx bit to get these three out for your wheel well cover. Anyway, so you need that. Also, this cover right here, it comes off the bottom of the car. That's held on by 7mm metrics, and it goes right in. Well, better give you some light. It goes right in here anyway. Fills this, covers your oil pan and stuff. And I am going to change oil in this. And she's got a oil leak there up above. I'm not sure where it's coming from. I might check that out as well to see kind of where all that's coming from. I don't think it's valve cover gasket, so we'll have to look and see. Some of that could be spillage from actually the oil filter and stuff right up there. Anyway, we might look at that too and see. But anyway, we're still draining, so it takes a little while. Okay, so it finally is down to just a drip. So make sure you close this valve, because when you fill it back up later, you might be sorry. So make sure you get that closed and fairly tight. Again, don't go ridiculous. Don't put a silly pair of pliers or anything on it. You should be able to get tightened up with your fingers like that, because there's O-ring in there and it'll be fine. All right, now we'll pull our wrench and our hose off. Just like that. A little configuration. All right, got the tire back on, so we're gonna drop her down and go up top. All right, first thing we need to do is support our oil pan. So we got a 2x4 on there to spread out the. And this car is definitely a low rider. She sets low. So hang on just a second. See if I can get this. Anyway, it's really low. See if I can get it under there. Alrighty. But we want to spread the weight. I need to move my jack over a little bit. Okay. Whoops. Sorry about that. I'm on the frame rail. That ain't gonna work. I gotta get off that. Let's turn it this way a little bit. We'll do it like this. There we go. All right. Now, somewhere right about there. We just want to support a little bit. We don't need to go up, but just a little bit support it. We'll raise it a little bit more. A few minutes when. Okay, so we need to take our connection off here for our EGR valve. There's a switch on the back side that I can't see, that needs to pull out, push down. Be careful, because these can be brittle and break too. Let's see. Need two hands. Got the lock moved. There she goes. So you can see this lock here has to pull, this red piece pulls out and then push on that tab. It'll come right out. All right, so we got to take our air cleaner off, and we got to take it off of our throttle body down here too. And these are probably all like 7 millimeters as well, looks like. So let me grab that and we'll see if we can't get them off. Okay, so these hose clamps are 7 millimeter. So just loosen them up a little bit. I think I'm gonna leave this one on right here, but then we got Phillips heads. And I don't know, General Motors, why do you think that that has to be so tight on there? Most everybody else just has clips to get to your air cleaner real easy. So anyway, so we'll do that. We'll take these out and pop that out. Looks like there's 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. Okay, get our screws loose, then this just lifts up out of there. So we'll set that over here out of the way. Then we got this hose here that needs to come off. And looks like maybe this thing just pops out. Alright, so that pops out of there. Oh, by the way, that bottom one doesn't want to break loose from the throttle body, so I'm going to have to part with it. Hang on a minute. Okay, our intake hose is being stubborn down there, and this thing is really brittle, so I'm going to have to put some tape on it anyway. But this just pulls up, I think, pulls out of that, and it goes down into this here. So you've got a couple grommets right there. They go right there and right there, and then your intake shoves down in there. So easy peasy. All right. Now then, we're going to take loose these motor mounts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm not sure what those are. Probably 17-ish or something. So let's just try to figure that out. Okay, so because General Motors has to be so different, these are 15s. You can always tell you're working on a quote-unquote American car because they do oddball metrics instead of your standard 10, 12, 14, 17, 19. We have to do things like 11 and 13 and 15 and 18. And anyway, that's, yeah, just a gripe of mine. But anyway, so we're going to whip all these off of here and let's get back to you in a minute. All right, so we got a total of 3 bolts, or actually 5 bolts. The 2 longer ones go on this support right here, and then you got a nut right there. They're all 15 millimeter. Make sure though that you got your jack underneath it before you pull those out, because you need to support it, because it'll totally drop if you don't. So make sure you do all that. All right, let's move on and jack her up. Okay, our bolts are out. So this all lifts right straight out of there. You can see we're free now. Okay, so set that down. All right, we need to jack it up because we need to get to these right here. And I think those are T45s, I can't remember. Anyway, but we need to jack it up so we got a little bit of clearance. A little bit of clearance, so we can bust those out of there. So let me jack it up and we'll be right back. Okay, with a 19 millimeter 12-sided socket, you can put it on the tensioner and turn it like that, just get a little tension off of it. I might take that bracket. You can take this bracket off too to give you more room if you want. I don't think I'm going to, because I think I'll be fine just like that. But anyway, I just need to spin this water pump pulley just a little bit so I can get it should loosen the belt right there. Should loosen the belt. Then I can turn it and get my nuts one at a time up top. Okay, mine kept slipping, so you want to leave the belt on for sure to be able to get these off. But mine, I couldn't get them loose with just the regular ratchet and a T45. So what I've had to do, and don't take them all the way out till you get. So I've had to get in here with my 1/2-inch impact with a swivel, just like that. And I can't do it one-handed, but get it in there. Make sure it's in there good, or that's a good way to strip it out, because that's way too much torque actually for that nut, but for that bolt, I mean. But anyway, but that's how I'm have to break mine loose. But you can figure out how you need to. Oh, I think the UPS guy's here. He's probably got something for me that I have to do more work. Anyway, so I'm going to get those out and be right back. Basically just like that there, which I don't like doing that. It's too much torque, but it's what it is. All right, now we're going to take the belt off and then take those off. All right, belt comes off pretty easy. As you can see, they're right down in there. It's where our 12-point socket goes on there. It's a 19 millimeter. You can do this with a regular ratchet too, and I might have to, but I don't think I do. Move it like that, and you can see our belt loosening up. I need to take another crack at it though. Oh, my bolt's in the way. There we go, just like that. Let me see if I can set you here. You can't see what I'm doing, but we'll pop this belt off. All right, there we go. So got the belt off. Now if I can just get my wrench out of there, we'll be in business. Okay, just like that. Now we got to get the rest of get these out of there. Hopefully these will come off with my fingers. Oh, that one's still pretty tight. Man, I don't know why. I might have to clean those up. They're probably, I guess they've never been off of there though, in 100 and whatever this thing's got on it, 140,000 or something. You might have Loctite on them, I don't know. But I should be able to get that one now with my 3/8 socket. Okay, hang on. Yeah, looks like these things had a little bit of blue Loctite on them. So anyway, so here's our water pump. Now that we got to take these things off. These are like a reverse T. I'm not sure what size they are, but we'll figure that out. And I think there's like 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like there's 5 of them. Then we'll pop that out. And there may be some antifreeze in there, so you may want to have a pan underneath to catch any residual antifreeze that comes out of there. All right, let me get my socket for you. Okay, so yeah, these bolts right here are an E10. So E10 is what we need. So I don't know if I can get all these with the impact or not. I don't know if I can get down in there. Okay, that bottom one's going to be tough. Alright, I think I got a long one I can get in there. If not, I need a little extension, or I just have to use a regular ratchet. Alright, let me get that one out and then we'll pop it out. Okay, so I got that bottom one out with just a little longer E10 and a regular 3/8 ratchet. So anyway, but alright, pulling these out of here. I'm going to clean all these bolts up. They're a little bit crusty. And already there's a little bit of antifreeze in there that's came out. Not a lot. If you drain the radiator, won't be a lot, but okay. And there we go. And she's out of there. Alright. And we'll go over here and compare it to our other one. Okay, they look pretty much the same. This is our old one. This is our new one. Just about identical for the most part. This one is, both of them have plastic impellers, which I'm not a big fan of, but hey, I guess it's alright. This one, I can't tell where it was leaking. It's a little different. This has got only like one of the, what I call them, like freeze plugs. This one's got 2. The new one's got 2. This one's only got 1. But anyway, and I'm not sure if it was leaking out the weep hole or what. But anyway, we know it was leaking there, so we had to take it off one way or the other. So there we go. Got the new one, about ready to go on. Okay, we're going to clean up our surface around here. Clean this up good. There's not really any cruddy stuff on it, but we're going to take a little brake clean and spray that down, and then we will kind of wipe that off. Get some of that old rubber gasket cleaned off a little bit. You can take Scotch-Brite to this if you need to, but ours is not too much junk, just, you know what it is. So okay, wipe that out of there, make sure there's no junk in there. We'll put our new one on there. We want to make sure our gasket stays in place on there. That's a little tricky because this one just wants to fall off. As you can see, just wants to fall off of there. So we'll have to make sure we can get that in the groove where it's supposed to go. Just like that there. And anyway, should go something like that. Hang on, let me get this set. I need 2 hands, so hang on. Alright, we're going to place it in there. Got to be careful because, see that gasket? We want it to stay in that groove, because if we don't, we're going to have a leak. So, got to be careful. Hang on a second, sorry. Got to be careful with that and not move it. Goes in there easy like that. And boom. And you want to have your bolts ready. Mine are right there. I've cleaned them up. I cleaned mine up, get the little bit of rust off of them. So let's get one started. I'm going to try to set you right here. You probably see if you can see from there. Sorry, I'm blocking you. get that started. I'm going ahead and cinch that up because I don't want my gasket to move. Oh, going the wrong way. Hang on a second. I don't want to tighten it down. I just want to hold it there, just snug-a-dugga. All right. Now then we can get our others in there. I'm going to try to get this bottom one started first of all, because that's what I don't like, is where that there silly gasket can come off of the rails. Alright, I think I got it started. I don't think I can get my ratchet in there. Nope. Alright, let me get the rest of these started and then I'll come back. Alright, we'll put these in and then we'll snug them up. I don't know the torque spec on this, but I'm sure it's not very much. Basically, it's just got to be snug on there and kind of crush that gasket a little bit. And we're dealing with aluminum housing, aluminum everything, aluminum water pump. So again, you don't want to, you want to make sure you tighten these by hand too. Don't use your impact, even though I would like to. Just don't put all your might into it. We're just going to cinch it up. We're kind of going to go around the horn, tighten them too, and go back around and check it. All right. Well, I don't even know if you can see any of that. Anyway, so yeah, just go around and we'll put them on, tighten them by hand, and go from there. Okay, we got all of our E10 bolts in there tight. Now we got to put our pulley back on. So kind of got to line the pulley back up. Go 3 holes right there. Go in our 3 holes on our water pump. Like that. So let me get that started. Alright, getting our pulley bolts started. And we'll start them by hand because we definitely don't want to cross thread these. These had blue Loctite on them, but I'm not going to do that because they were crazy tough to come out. So I cleaned them up a little bit and get them in there and we'll get them tight. Alright. Okay, they're all started. Now I can tighten them up, I think, with my 3/8 instead of not using the impact on it. So there we go. Hang on just a second. Okay, so I didn't film it, but I got the bolts back in the pulley, and it's on there. And then I went ahead, all you got to do is get your 19mm 12-point socket again with a 3/8 inch ratchet, or I've got this little fancy smancy, basically for serpentine belts, but works here. Well, that's what this is, serpentine belt. Go on there and push her forward, loosen her up. Make sure you get it all on all of your ribs all the way around, so it goes around the crank, around the AC, around your water pump, and then around your alternator. So that's where she goes. That's how she routes around there. So anywho, this car does not have a power steering pump because it's down there and it's electric. So that's kind of crazy. This is also a 6-speed car, which is kind of fun. Alright, so once we got all that on there tight, we need to put our motor mounts back on. And let me grab that. And what is all that debris? A bunch of debris in here. Clean out some of the debris. And in our motor mount goes like that. So it's back down in there like such. And we're actually a little bit high because we got our motor jacked up. But here's all of our bolts start. Nope, wrong nut, wrong nut. That's an extra. That doesn't even go to this job. Left in the deal. So there's a nut. That's all our 15 millimeters. All right, so I'm gonna let the motor down just a smidge, very little. Like, there we go. That might be enough right there. Just to straighten it up, trying to get our bolt started. All right, you got two really long ones. You go here, right here. See if I can get them started. Start it by hand. I'm gonna have to clean that one up. She's crusty. All right, that one started. That one started. Okay. I don't know if I can move that enough to. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to tighten any of these up till you get them all started for sure. Okay, I'm going to go clean this bolt up. Actually, these two are pretty crusty. Be right back. Okay, clean these other two up just a little bit. See if we can get them started by hand. That one's a little bit fighting me. I might need to come down just a little bit. Very little. Easy peasy. Make sure I'm not cross-threading it. However, cross-threading, you know, that's new Loctite. That's natural Loctite to cross-thread. Yeah, that was not lining up as well, so. All right, anyway, that goes in there. Let me shut this off so I can use two hands, wiggle that around, and get it in. All right. We'll get these just started. We're not going to put a bunch of torque on it. I'm not sure what the torque spec is. Just want to get them down in there. All right, get them started a little bit. Gotta get that one down in there. All right. Now we'll give it like 2 ugga-duggas under full power a little bit. Okay, once those are down, we can take our jack out from under it, and then we might check them again. All right, let's see what we got, what happens. Yeah, there we go. Now then, she's all. Again, I don't know the torque specs, but I'm guessing it's probably 100 foot-pounds or so. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to get my jack out from underneath it, and then we'll start putting our other stuff back. All right, we're going to put our air filter bracket, basically, our back in. Again, we got a place where that grommet goes in, that goes in there. And it just pushes down in. I don't know if you can see that or not. It pushes like that. That one goes like that. Whoop, we're off a little bit. Come back over here. There. That's pretty much it. Boom, boom. And this pushes back in. All right, then we'll put our air filter back on. She really needs a new one of those, but we're not going to do that today because that's money, of course. Okay, here's our top part. Now this one's got 2 longer screws on this back side. I'm not sure why. Your air filter's up in there too. Make sure your air filter goes down in. Just like that. Alright. Then I gotta get my screws back in. Anyway, it goes back a little bit further. I'm not helping you see very well. Alright. Just like yay. Get all of our screws lined back up. And we'll put that on in a second, but let's get stuff going. Alright. Alright. Okay. Alright, let me get my other screwdriver. Let's get these started. This is a long one right here. Not sure why. But it does look like an original screw, so and again, I don't know why General Motors thinks we need to have screws in here, because it usually is plenty tight enough with just clamps, but whatever. Overkill, I reckon. Alright, so there's that. Then we got to get our intake hose back on there. Something like that. Need to make sure my clamp is up here where I can get to it. Yeah. Okay. Just like that. Then we'll tighten that up. Whatever I did with my 7mm. Alright, there we go. Tighten our clamp back up. Tighten this one up down here, wherever it went. Right there. Alright, this clamp right there. Okay. And we gotta plug back in our mass airflow goes in, then there's a little red thing tab underneath. You gotta do that too. Alright, so double check, make sure everything's groovy, cool, tight. It looks like it. Now we're gonna add our antifreeze back into the reservoir over there. I'm gonna tidy stuff up, be right back. Okay, so here's your coolant reservoir and fill. So I've overflowed mine a little bit, but pour back in. If you were able to save what you drained out and it's relatively clean, you can put it back in there. Test it too if you got a tester. Got one of these, well, antifreeze testers. Tested ours and it's fine, but I do have some new to add because I'm sure it probably will be a little bit low. All right, and then so we've got a breather, basically a burper right here. If you can see that right there, it's a Phillips. Goes in there. We unscrew that. That's our air breather hole. So we'll let that, see if it, open that up till it seeps out. Ours is starting to seep out. So probably need to burp that a little bit later too, but we'll go ahead and close that back up. Waiting for our antifreeze to fill up. Alright, so we will Get it back. We'll start it up, get it back in the air, and just make sure our pump's not leaking, because that would be bad. We don't want our pump to leak after all the work we did. So, pull our funnel out. Put our cap back on. I'm going to squirt all that down with a little brake clean, clean that up. It's not corrosive, won't hurt anything, but I also don't want it sitting around on junk. So, alright, looks like I got some on the windshield. That's not good. We'll clean that up. Okay, alright, I think that's it. Alright, let me get up in the air and start it, and we'll see what happens. Okay, alright, so I blew off as much as the residual as I could. Underneath you can see where the water pump is right there, and it's dry. We got no leaks, so that's really good news. Alright, so now I'm going to get this thing down and make sure it's filling up proper, and then I'm going to do an oil change on the thing. So there we go. I don't think I need to show you the oil change. It's pretty self-explanatory. Here's the drain plug, drained all up. Actually, your oil filter's up top, and I think it takes I don't know, a little over 4 quarts, something like that. Anyway, okay, so let me get this back. Okay, just checking one last time on our pump, and dry as a bone. That's good. And we're not leaking out of there, so we got to put all this back. All this slides in, all these little places. Most of our bolts are gone, so we're just zip tie it through there. That goes there, so on and so forth. And then there's, like I said, then there's bolts that go there and clips that go there. These are missing, and this whole thing is missing. There's supposed to be a whole nother thing, but it's long gone. So it's supposed to be another plate like this, but it's gone. So that's all right. So I'm gonna button that back up and put the tire back on, and we'll call it good on that. So anyway, remember, safety third. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, all those cool things, and we'll probably be working on this girl again, I'm guessing, if she hangs on to it for a while. And that'll be it. I got more videos come. I got all kinds of stuff to work on. It just takes a little while to film, so sometimes I'm so dang busy I don't want to take time out to film. Sorry, but just true thing. We got to get stuff done. Anyway, see you next time. Remember, safety third. See ya.